What's up, everyone? It is Dueling Racer 3985, and today we will be doing the third team in the AcceleRacers franchise, and that would be the Racing Drones. Yes, the antagonists of the films. These are the bad guys. Yeah, guys, got the entire set new, mint in the packaging, like most of my AcceleRacers. Actually, all of them. So, yeah, as for how hard this team was to collect, it was pretty difficult only because of two different cars, and I will point those out when I get to them, obviously. And yeah, I think they're definitely harder than the Metal Maniacs and the Silencers, but not more than the Teku. The Teku are a whole different ballgame, guys. I'll talk about that team, or I already did talk about them in their own video, but this is going to be dedicated to the Racing Drones, and one of 9 would be RD01. This is my personal favorite racing drone. I mean, just look at it. Look at it right there. It looks like an arrowhead. Look at how sharp it is. It looks like a rocket on wheels or something. The wheelbase and everything. It is one really cool car, in my opinion. I feel this car is just underrated. This car didn't actually appear in the movies, like many of the drones, actually. The drones in particular have a lot of, cars that didn't make appearances in the films. I don't know why that is. There was totally room for them. RD01. I don't even know how you see out of those windows right there. They're so thin. Guess this car really was made for a robot. That's RD01. Next up is RD02. This car did make it into the movies. It was actually quite common. And how much? Yeah, it's not too expensive to get on eBay, new. A little bit more expensive than, say a ratified, but it's not that rare. And a funny story with this car is that it actually pierced the packaging. Look at that. I didn't do that. That's just from, naturally being in the box. As you can see, it's like too big for its casing. They should have extended it some. It's pretty funny. But yeah, RD02. One thing you'll notice about cars like RD01 and RD02, these are the regular smaller sedan type cars. These are driven by the Racing Drone Soldier, the weaker version of the Racing Drones, and then the big bulky cars, which I'm about to get to, are driven by RDL1, the Lieutenant. Like RD03, for instance. This is a big, Hummer looking vehicle. This one is driven by RDL1, as were all the SUV type cars in the Racing Drones team. So about this car, I actually had this in silver, and it was also new in the packaging, but I sold it and I wanted to get it in black, because silver, that's obviously not how it was in the movies. Even though it didn't appear in the movies, all racing drones are supposed to be black and green, obviously. So I went ahead and got the black and green variation, although this variation seems to be a little bit more, hard to find than the silver. And mine actually happens to be a factory sealed 2005 set version with that sticker, and apparently that sticker makes it worth so much more. I don't know why, but if you guys could explain to me in the comments what the sticker actually means, I'm actually confused as to what what its relevance is, and I don't really care whether or not my cars have the sticker, but hey, it looks pretty cool. But yeah, that is RD03. Really cool car. Should have been in the movies, but it wasn't. Next up is RD04. This car, unlike all the other not Metal Maniacs drones, it actually has kind of like a satin paint job, if you notice. This one also did not appear in the movies, like RD03. And it's a pretty cool car. It looks like a military type Jeep or something. That's the type of vibe I get from it. But yeah, that would be RD04. Next up is one of those cars that's really going to cost you some money to get, and that is RD05. Now, I'm very fortunate to have actually gotten this one in a lot with some other racing drones for like $50. So I saved a lot of money trying to get this one. Instead of buying it, up front individually for $50 is, the average price for this one, I was able to get it for a lot less. An interesting story with this car, it was actually available in another variation, but this one variation wasn't in the actual AcceleRacers series. It was actually sold in a truck and transport set back in like '09 or something. And same car, same paint job, except it didn't have the AcceleRacers wheels. It actually had regular off-roading tires, but it was in a drone themed set with a drone themed truck, and it was actually sold in stores not too long ago. And I actually had the opportunity to get one, but my parents wouldn't let me. Back at the time, I was much younger, didn't have my own money, so I missed out on that one. But hey, I got the original, which is definitely better. RD05, really big, bulky car. Definitely the shortest out of possibly all the AcceleRacers, besides maybe Technetium. But next up would be RD06. Now this car has an interesting story to it. Okay, so obviously it had some variations, or it had 5-spoke wheels, and I actually had the 5-spoke version, but I sold it and wanted the 6-spoke because obviously the Racing Drones did not have no 5-spoke. That's for Metal Maniacs only. But it also came with a lot of errors. So one type of error I've seen, it didn't have the front wheels. It would just, only had the rear wheels. And another error, and this one happens to be one of them, is that the card says RD010 behind the sticker. But it seems the manufacturer corrected it and put a sticker under the plastic saying RD06. Now, a lot of these, I've seen a lot of them that say RD010 instead of RD10 instead of RD06. And this happens to be one of them. And the 5-spoke I used to have also said RD10 instead of RD06, and it's really funny how they made that simple mistake. So yeah, I went ahead and got mine in 6-spoke. One funny thing about RD06, and this is only for RD06, compared to any other racing drone, it's got turquoise type wheel, colored wheels. They're not like the light green that you find on all the other racing drones. Here you can compare them. Look at the difference. All the RD06s are like this, and I don't know why, but I mean, I really like the color. It definitely looks cool, but it's just different compared to all the others, and that's something to note. You might not have noticed that. It's kind of subtle, but if you pay attention, it's a different color than all the other racing drones tires. But yeah, that's RD06. Next up is the big daddy of the racing drones, RD08. Now this guy, man, he is so expensive. I don't know why, but he's not really renowned to be a hard-to-find car, but on eBay, I've seen him go up for $90. $90 for a racing drone. I mean, some Teku are worth that much, but really, a racing drone? I got mine for $40. Thank God I did not pay $90. But yeah, I made a best offer to the seller, who had it listed for $70, and he took up my offer for $40. So yeah, I got pretty lucky with this one. Also, the wheelbase. The wheel well. It's really funny. Look at it. It's like triangle shaped. It points straight up like a pyramid. I used to have this car loose, but it was really beat up. Got it from a friend. But I got mine new, mint in the packaging. And one thing that sucked, in my situation is that the seller, even though he gave it to me for a good price, he didn't package it correctly. Now look, there's a big ass crease all across the top of the card. And that annoys me, because this is, the rarest racing drone, and I wanted it to be in as good condition as possible. And of all the cards that had to get damaged, it had to be this one. So, just my luck, I guess. But, still grateful to have this one. Now we're nearing the end. Oh, and I wanted to point out that this says 7 of 9 instead of 8 of 9, even though it's RD08. You may be wondering why that is, even though RD06 was 6 of 9, but it skipped to 7. Well, guys, in the movies, it was actually in RD07. With the cars, there isn't. And that was a motorcycle. And since they didn't make the motorcycles for the AcceleRacers lineup, they just skipped the number. So they went straight to 7 out of 9 for RD08. And there's actually an RD10, and that would be 8 of 9. If they did include the motorcycles, which I totally think they should have, this would be 10 out of 10 RD10. And it would have, flowed smoothly. But since they skipped the motorcycles, this is now 8 of 9, and that's pretty funny, even though it's already 10. Now this car is quite unlike the rest. It's really long, it's really thin, looks like a fighter jet. Looks like it's about to take off. Yeah, it's a really cool car. Did not appear in the movies though. That's one thing to keep in mind. Yeah. And what's funny is that my card actually still has the original store sticker Kmart for $1.99. So I think that these AcceleRacers were once that cheap. Could you believe that, guys? But yeah, this one's not too expensive though. Probably could get it for like 13, 15 bucks new. Yeah, that would be RD10. And last but not least is the leader of the racing drones, RD09, driven by Galore. Unlike all the other racing drone cars, this one was actually driven by the leader, who is, you know, quite distinct among the rest. Still a robot though, but yeah, this car is, you know, it's really cool looking. A lot of people say this is their favorite from the racing drones. Personally, mine is like RD01. I like to like the, you know, more underrated cars, but RD09 is not half bad. This one, you know, back on track, 9 of 9, RD09. Really weird how they numbered these cars. But yeah, that would be the last of the racing drones, my friends. RD09. So yeah, that is the entire set of the racing drones. I only wanted to get one of each and have them to be the most, you know, movie accurate variations, and I think I did that quite well. So let me know what you guys think about my collection, your collection, favorite racing drone car, whatever it may be. Please leave all thoughts in the comments. I'd love to, you know, get a discussion going with you guys, because, you know, I don't have anyone to really talk about AcceleRacers with. All my friends would think I'm crazy if I told them I collect these really expensive Hot Wheel cars. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the last video of the AcceleRacers series, and that would be the silencers.